There we go. Just like that, we're live. I'll say, indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. It's not like saucing out there. Technically, it's very light, misty rain falling, but it's enough for me to not want to sit out there. So we'll have another day inside a little bit. It is nice to have you friends here with me. Welcome. Welcome indeed. Today's conversation, our stream topic, the thing we're trying to consciously evolve alongside with, is the question of how much focus does it take to be enough, right? And it almost like came as the message of today's stream to me during the yoga class today is that you already are, but very much so, almost like as a grounding exercise, where as I was in that moment in my practice, I do believe it was in the child's pose. I was aware of the fact that I had air to breathe. I'm fasting today, so I am taking energy from my body, and I had a surface to practice on. And of course, gravity holding me to it. And then there was just this moment of being like, I have everything I need right now, don't I? Oh, tough question. The answer is none. You are enough as you are. That is the right answer indeed. Yes, indeedly, dear Samuel. I do believe that this is the truth, that you are already enough. And that's almost like where I want to talk about our stream topic today, is that we find ourselves in a world that has so many distractions as attached to it, right? So many different sets of information, so many instances within which we can consider ourselves lacking, right? And in that way, it feels like it's a war for our focus, right? Our attention is technically the most valuable commodity on the internet right now. If you are rich, wealthy, your attention is worth even more because your attention might lead to, what do they call them? Conversion. Yes. Consider ourselves lekker. Ons is. Ons is baie lekker. Is waar. So, it's nice to have you here with us too, Zhao. Talking about people that are more than enough. It's nice to have you here as well. Today's conversation is about almost like maintaining our focus on that fact. Because again, I believe as soon as you start to believe, as soon as you lose focus of the fact that you are, in fact, enough, that's where all of the other stuff starts to fall apart, right? That's where all of the jealousy arises, all of the insecurities live there, all of the anger, righteous indignation, all of the pettiness, I feel as well, right? Because if you are enough and if you really believe that, if you can maintain your focus, I think everything else should be easier. At least that's the way that it arises in my mind, right? Every time I really feel intrinsically that enoughness, there is this relief that washes over me that seems to be, I want to use the word unshakable, but at the same time fleeting, right? Because it doesn't take long for us to lose our focus, does it? It's like getting into a free-to-play game, then finding out you got to drop for the gear you need to win the game. Fuck that. I'm gonna play without buying extra game tokens for focus. Don't need it. Yeah. Yeah. It is one of those things, Sam. For instance, I technically don't need the token that we could call a vehicle, right? technically. Technically, I've never had a car of my own, right? And at the same time, technically, I have gotten to every place that I needed to go. Every place that required my attention, my focus, my love, found me there, despite the fact that I don't have a car, right? And to echo on your term, on your point, dear Sam, I've been allowed to play the game despite the fact that I'm not following the rules. I haven't dropped for that kind of gear. However, and that's where the however comes in, all right? It would be nice. I wouldn't be any more enough than I am right now, but I would allow myself a certain change in freedom, right? Suddenly the world would change to me. And I do imagine that I'll work next year, and then maybe by end of next year, maybe I'll be able to afford a car, right? But again, I'm not going to be more than enough after I do that suddenly, right? Quite the contrary. I might have more to account for, more to lose, right? Insurance to pay. I found out today that you have to pay taxes when you register a vehicle in America. It's like, oh, okay. Five-ish, five-ish to 10-ish% of your car. If you could manifest a car, what would it be? Right now, there's so many good ones, Kiefer. If you have to ask me about what car that I would manifest that I could in America, for example, the list is a little bit shorter. If it's global, mm, yo, I would like to get a car that I'd only have to get once. That's the thing for me as well, right? I will definitely be buying myself a second-hand car if I do get myself one in the short term. I feel like that's almost non-negotiable. It'll definitely be second-hand. I wonder if I'll ever buy myself a new car. I think it's nice to imagine, right? You go to a dealership, you get the white glove treatment, you get into a car that has no miles in it. But that's not going to make me feel more enough, is it? Think the object itself needs to be functional. So, Kiefer, I'm like having a hard time answering the question. I don't know if you gave me the context of if it's only North America. There are so many good ones. I guess I'm thinking, I feel like I would probably go for one of the Xiaomis. New cars are overrated. Yeah, exactly. Especially like the car that I'm looking at right now, Kiefer, the one that I'm trying to manifest from myself, is a Polestar 2, an old, like ideally 70-ish plus 1,000 mile Polestar 2. In America, yeah, that's the one, a Polestar 2. And if not one of those, then maybe one of the old Kias. I think the old Kias are also relatively inexpensive. Polestar is like a nice car. That's the thing, right? It's nice. I'll feel nice enough in a car like that, right? But it is still going to be 20-ish up to 25-ish thousand dollars, right? For the vehicle alone. That's a nice ride. They are out here. Yup, yup, yup. No, they are available. They're available secondhand. New they cost 60-ish, $60,000, but you can get them secondhand for technically under 20. I've seen them for under 20. Kia is expensive to insure here. Really? You wouldn't think. Is it a safety thing? Yeah, I don't know if the Polestar is going to be better. It is going to be an expense. I'm aware of that much, Kiefer. Right? And I'll have to be enough. I'll have to have enough money in order to continue to drive that vehicle. It'll cost money and energy, the insurance, of course. There's risk. There's risk. I didn't know Kia was higher risk. It's news to me, actually. You need good war horse. Kick of the North. King of the North. Is that Zoltar? Are you making a I look like Jon Snow joke? It's been a long time since that happened. Yes. I do, in fact, know nothing. It's true. Oh, needed. Who is your favorite YouTuber? Melt, who is your favorite YouTuber? It's going to probably be a little bit of a cheesy answer. But honestly, I still think PewDiePie. I unironically think PewDiePie is my favorite YouTuber. Yeah. I really love him. He's one of my actual inspirations, for starting this channel as well. He used to. I think he did it for 10 years. 10 years he did daily uploads. Right? And I kind of relied on that. He was like my internet friend. Parasocial relationship in the works. If you can manifest a car. How about you, Kiefer? Oh, honey, death and taxes are guaranteed here. Oh, yeah. It was just kind of surprising to me to see that I'll have to pay in taxes what you can buy a whole car for. Either in America or here. It's like, $2,500 of taxes. Huh. Huh. Why is like that's like 10% ish of the entire vehicle value? Like why? Why? Can somebody tell me why do they need that much money to register a vehicle? I'll stand in line. I'll register everybody else's vehicle for half price. You just come to me and said, if you had to choose, it's a strange question. Overrated. Yeah, exactly. They're out here. Kias should be more difficult to steal. I heard that is a problem. Maybe that's why the insurance is higher as well. Easy Hack went viral on TikTok. Yes, there it is. Yeah, I've gotten that one. Prowess. Prowess duty pie. Is that the thing that you're talking about of the whole tax thing? Prowess duty? That's what it's called? Prowess. Is it called prowess duty? Because of the niceness of the car? The worse the car is, the less you pay? Maybe it would be better for me to just get like a $1,000 or $2,000. I don't know if you can get a car for $1,000. Maybe there's some place you could get a beater, and then drive that vehicle until it doesn't want to drive anymore. And then during that time, save money, and then inevitably technology will get better. People will sell their old cars for cheaper, and then I'll get a good car later. Right? Am I going to be okay enough with that? That's kind of the best way to do it, right? It's funny how I'm like, yeah, I won't buy myself a new vehicle because that would be wasteful. That would be like losing a lot of money on depreciation a lot, right? Real quickly. Like I saw as I was kind of going down the rabbit hole of like looking at the Polestar 2, I saw a dude who bought one new. I think he paid $63,000, and he drove it for a year and a half, I think. And then he went to go like on Edmunds or something. He went and asked, how much is it worth now? And it's like $18,000. You trade in value, you can get $18,000. And just like watching him die inside, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I ever want to feel like that. About 40% of my income goes to taxes, and it didn't piss me off as much as it has recently been giving the citizens less than waste our money on more. Yeah, that is pretty bonkers, Kiefer. 40%. That's no small amount. Something enough, right? Something. Meanwhile, we handed 40 billion US dollars to Argentina. I heard about that too. Yeah, there's a lot to be desired in our current finance system. The fact that we're working with these kinds of numbers, and then at the same time, right, we're taking money from people who earn thousands. Javier is in Donnie's Butt Buddies Club. That's why he got the bailout. Javier, Argentina. What did he do? Libertarianism? Libertarian? Is that it? Oh. I have still some hope that the world is becoming a better place. Right? Like, I have this belief that even the ultra wealthy are motivated to keep the world getting better. Right? It's in their best interest for the world to get better too. And it's impossible for them to make the world a better place if they don't have the scale to do so. Right? And scale takes all of us. It takes every single one of us. The only way in which this world works if there are enough people to live in it. And in that context, that is what today's stream topic was about. Is the fact that you, dear friend, listening right now, believe it or not, are already enough. That as you are here right now, that is enough. I feel like we definitely are in a time period where there's a lot of difficulty in our assessment of human value. But it's not going to be long before that question becomes the only one that's really of importance, right? Right now, people still value money. People value different kinds of assets. People worry that we're in some sort of a bubble again, right? But the reason these things are growing is because those that have the most money don't need it, right? Not really. Not the way that people that live on money needs money, right? So it just keeps being put to work, keeps staying in some sort of account. Financial industry is really messy as it is right now. Hello, MeltMary. Hello, Giselle. Giselle. It's nice having you here too. I'm sending you blessings, sending you love. Mm-mm-mm. The imp has bailed them out several times before, and now they are promising to buy more beef while Texas beef ranchers struggle. I heard about that too. Off my soapbox. Love is true. Pay us federal employees. The sun shines through the cracks, melt. Yeah, it's true. It's true, right? And again, the thing we're seeing right now is just this slow erosion of trust in our governments, right? The planet's a really big place, and a country is a very complex system. One that's a little bit difficult to delegate to a single person, right? Like the current president is but a puppet, right? For powerful people to get their way. Whatever it is, that is, for most of them, especially these days, it's power. They want power. However, people are the ones that have all the power. If you lose the goodwill of all the people on the planet, they will literally eat you. They'll fucking eat you alive. Human beings are wild, right? And again, I think that's the matter of enough. That people don't want, I at least, don't want a private jet of my own. Wouldn't impress me to have a private jet of my own. I would just see it as a massive waste of money. Because again, you can only use it so many times. Even if you're flying every day, that's going to be X amount of hours in your day. All right. And then for the rest of the hours, it will stand there being expensive. And like that to my mind is like, yeah, that's very stupid. I can't let myself do that. However, I think all of us can get behind not having to worry if we can afford a meal, right? Not having to worry whether or not we'll have enough money to cover our bills, be able to pay for our home, be able to keep the lights on. And then I feel like there has to be a breaking point. And believe it or not, America is going to be first in line for the changes and abundance that's to come. All right. I do believe that there will be abundance in the future. I don't believe that we'll have less. There's going to be some time before we get there. Are you a federal employee? I'm not. Right about him, Sam? I don't know. What about when his first presidency led anybody to believe that he's anything but first and everyone else suffers? He's literally never believed in America first. It's true. But again, we are a species of amnesia, and very few of us are properly educated about what's going on. I saw him for what he was in 2015 and screamed myself hoarse about it 6 months until the election in 2016. I had several dreams of civilian caught in warfare, of tent camps with barbed wire. I think they were warnings. Dreams like that carry significance. In my family, we all have them, but they ignored me, called me hysterical, and they voted for him. All that to say, it's incredibly validating that you say so. The current president is but a symptom of the human condition as well. Exactly. Right, and in that way, I see it as theater. I see it as this like big old show, show and tell of humanity to itself. And it's a spectacle. It literally is a spectacle. All humanity is. And I feel it is going to take us some time to grow up. Right, and growing up looks like not really concerning yourself with certain things. And we really like it. We really like it. That's the big problem. We're faced with the fact that we like things and that things are cute. Cats, for example, right? Cats. The fact that we really like cats and we think them cute means that we're now seeing a bird extinction scale that has never before been witnessed, right? Because of the amount of cats, the free-roaming ones especially, that live in our cities, that live in our environments, the natural bird species that used to exist in those environments are absolutely getting decimated, hunted to the point of extinction, because we found cats cute, right? And we like them. We like them. I like it. I like that. And we have cats here, right? And it breaks my heart every time I see them catch a bird. But we still like them enough, right? The cats that we have right now are all rescues. I don't know if that makes it better, but that's still the reality of the situation. we like the fluffy things enough to hurt ourselves with them, to hurt our reality. The amount of electric fencing that has gone up, like high voltage electric fencing around Houston, speaks volumes about the moment we're living in, and it seemingly happened overnight. Yeah, it's been like that here in South Africa for a long time, right? And it's again a kind of fear-mongering, right? Like our country technically has been in a state of collapse for the last 30 years, right? And some of your American friends have been here, Kiefer, Joe, and Aaron, and Kiana of them too. And they got to see South Africa that has been considered as a country that has collapsed in many ways, right? All of our industries are collapsing. All of our jobs have gone. All of our hope in our government is slowly seeping out. And yet, people are living their lives. Yes, there are electric fences. Yes, there are people very disadvantaged. But even those people still want to continue living. Right? There's a certain tenacity to the human spirit. And things change, right? Things always change. People die and are born again. I don't know about the reincarnation thing, but there are going to be more people born. We will witness a population collapse in our lifetimes, which will be very stark, right? We have a pension system as it is right now, which is going to be It's scary. And ideally, the way I see it is that we're going to figure out some sort of way to incorporate robot labor into that system eventually. And then if we can figure out a way to take care of our elderly, then it's only a matter of time for us to start taking care of ourselves as well. There hasn't been a good president in my time. Yeah, unfortunately, Darren, in mine either. It's kind of rough. Rough. I know cats are sometimes scary. They can be. If a cat comes at you with a sharp end, it can be a pretty scary situation to be in. I agree with you, Mel. I think we live in an abundant world where people are doing their darnest to create a poverty mindset, which has set the collective trap around all of us. Exactly. Right? Like, I am well aware that I'm very fortunate to have my family. Right? And my dad studied engineering, 30, 32 years ago. Right, like his decisions had led me to existing here right now, so I can have this conversation with you, friends. But I have been out of this environment a few times. Right, I moved out directly after high school, got a place of my own, found a job for myself. Moved to a different country, went to China. And I continued, you know. I gained a lot of gratitude during that time of my life, that's true. But I continued to exist in a state of abundance. In fact, I got fat, technically, especially in China. I didn't feel enough, though, in both of the extremes. Like, I didn't feel enough personally, and when it came to this amount of stuff I was feeling, I felt I wasn't feeling enough. I couldn't engage with people that I valued the opinions of. Could be my bad, technically. I take a little bit of responsibility for that. Focus. Remaining focused on the fact that I'm enough. I'm like scrolling through my mind, recounting my memories of my past selves, and so many of the issues, the problems that I've faced throughout my life stems from not believing that I am enough as I am. I have been taken advantage of many a times. People have taken me for a ride, have hurt me because of my trust. And I would like to believe that it's a sign of my good heart. But at the same time, I have to take some responsibility for it too. Right? Responsibility in the way that I wasn't focused enough on how much I'm worth. What enough would be. You know? What is enough for you? Maybe you can tell me. We got Lace here. Hey there, MeltMore. Could you please send me prayers of higher consciousness or healing energies or whatever you call it when I'm desperate? No. I'm sending you all of the good frequencies that I have right now, dear friend. You want to tell us what's going on? How's life been treating you? Darren, I was under depression. You were old enough to have been alive through Jimmy Carter. No. Maybe. Not that old. 9 years short. There it is. Kiefer, I see the danger and the fear, and I see there has never ever been a large demand for bards than there is right now. It's true. We need people that can tell stories and speak, right? Speak power to what it is we want in this world. It's very difficult to convince people. It's easier to tell them a story. Sam, it's so freaking true. It has never been more visible now than ever. And like, if you just flip through the channels now and see the advertisement for the tasers, acting like you know. Tasers? Acting like you know it's some safe alternative to protect yourself and not killing somebody you know. It's almost perceived as righteousness, presented as righteousness. These tasers. Oh, I'm talking about actual like trick tasers. Tasers don't kill people, at least. Right? The sound is more of a deterrent than anything. We have a constitutional obligation. Unfortunately, in these times, it might actually mean, yeah, there's no taking life in that way, right? You can kill a person, you can kill an animal, but you can't take anything. Right, it's not yours to take. Thank you very much, MeltMore. You are very welcome, Lace. Very loved. Don't on me. I won't weave that ridiculous yellow flag wave, Kiefer, not even the one with Beavis on it. Yeah. Where's your focus, friends? Hmm? That is what today's conversation is about, after all. What are you focusing on? I hear what you're saying. I just read your message as well, Kiefer. I can imagine that one of the more prevalent opportunities for injury is in like scenarios where people flee and then they get tased from behind or something, and then they contract and then they fall on their faces or something like that. High voltage is technically a pain tolerance thing. Technically. Technically, if you know what to expect and you can handle the pain, you can just stand there while getting tased. You can be like, oh, this is fine. Amperage is what kills you. But I can imagine almost like collapsing injuries, people falling down and hurting themselves in the process being way more prevalent in those cases. Perceived threats. Perceived threats. The most I've ever been tased is by kids. There was this carnival. Is it a carnival? Not exactly a carnival. More like bazaar, school bazaar, right, where people would sell a bunch of things. And amongst those things would be these very cheap, I think 200 Rand, which is $10, $11, maybe $12, right? They would have these $12 tasers. And then most kids have 12 bucks. So they would buy them and they would run around tasing each other. It's kind of it's usually the fear. You start hearing the sound before you ever get the little jolt. The Republican Party has been and will always be the party of steal everything that ain't nailed down. So of course they want smaller government. Small government means less oversight. Again, Sam, is this serving your focus? Is that making you feel like you are enough? I find when I discuss or consider government or politics, right, it instantly makes it very clear to me that I'm not doing enough. Why am I not the one in power? Why am I not talking to more people? Why can't I change all of that? Right? That's not exactly good for our focus. I'm focusing on adobo chicken. That's some good stuff to focus on. Lurky loving y'all and listening to this interesting chat while I get ready to host a friend surprise birthday party. I'm so excited to have company. It's true. It was Jared's birthday recently, and he doesn't know. Oh, I should. I don't know if Jared watches my live streams. I hope he doesn't. Part of me now hopes he does, but the part of me that doesn't want to spoil the surprise hopes he doesn't. Love is true. Have fun, dear Zhao. Adobo chicken, feeds. That's gonna be nice. Sending you love. But cancer does. Take care of yourself, MeltMore. The universe and all the galaxies desperately need more beautiful soul like you. May every star shine on you, dear friend. That's really wholesome. Lace. I won't be getting any cancer. Thank you very much. I do realize that you were concerned for my well being because of this. If I were to get cancer, it would probably be skin cancer because of the sunlight I'm exposed to in this country, relatively speaking. Right? That's why I try and stay out of the sun as much as possible. It is true that carcinogens can increase your likelihood of developing cancer too, and that's why I have switched over to vaporizing. I also with you that it could be another factor that I could eliminate. And I will be taking a little bit of a break again. I look forward to it even. It's going to be a change of pace. Definitely will be spending a fair bit of time with the family very soon again, right? One, it's going to be Christmas and stuffs. And then two, it's going to be my brother's wedding on the 24th of January, which is real soon as well. It's a balance between both. Stop at 10 volts, no amount of amperage can kill you. It can burn you badly, though. Yeah, that's true. But it's very hard to stop at 10 volts, isn't it? Isn't it, Darren? If there's big amps, there's probably more than 10 volts. Probably. However, you can get with like steppers lots and lots of voltage, and there's almost no amperage there. And it's very intimidating, right? Seeing electricity like that. It literally arcs. You can see it. However, that kind of electricity is less dangerous than the kind you can't see, right? The kind that really quickly wants to make their way to the ground. Really quickly. Like it's very urgent. All of that amps being like, I want to get to the ground right now. And that's not good for you. It's really not good for you. Getting used as a conductor. Is this serving your focus? Yes, I'm called to this kind of educating. Dear Sam, you are preaching to the choir. In this space, you are preaching to the choir, right? All of us are on the same page. All of us feel equally powerless in the face of those kinds of things. I live in a country that has exponentially more blatant corruption, right? It is stark to see the corruption that there is in all of our countries. But I have grown up in a country where that's just the norm, right? It's not shocking to me. It's not something that I feel, at least at this point in my life, takes anything away from me, right? At one point in my life, I was very peeved about all of the corrupt individuals that are stealing from our country. But again, I see us as a species of eternities, right? Yes, our lifetimes. Yes, our recent history that we can be aware of. But we have been on planet Earth as humans for hundreds of thousands of years. Some would say millions, and I mean as humans. I don't believe, not even for a second, that we only became sophisticated humans 12,000 years ago. We've been on this planet metaphorically or literally knocking rocks together for a long time. And we keep forgetting that this is how things go, right? In the process of evolution. We are now, for the first time, with our current trajectory of technology, actually going to enable ourselves to solve most of our problems. And I feel like it is this matter of realizing what it is you're looking at, seeing the play, seeing the theater for what it is. And it can be very emotionally disconnected to speak about it from that kind of perspective, because the pain that the individuals feel in the process is still just as real. You know, that part isn't performance. However, if you could take a step back and see things as they're unfolding, we're we're doing it, Sam. All of us are collectively doing it. We as human beings are very keen on negative information because that's the thing that we evolved to spot. And if through our evolution we spotted the problems fast enough, then we were allowed to survive. And that is what's happening with our everything. Having the internet suddenly gives us access inside our living rooms, inside our rooms, on the toilet, gives us access to all the problems in the world. So I acknowledge, I do, that these problems exist. But right here, right now, we're trying to maintain focus on the fact that we are enough. Whether you can solve all the problems of the world or not, you are enough. That's what we're showing up for in this space. I don't concern myself with politics. There's an incredibly long track record of actual fatalities and various levels of harm caused by these groups of products that they cover up. And they also subject people intentionally to conditions. To perceive threats was a response to what I was focused on today. What your question was, but maybe it's more like perceived injustices. I hear you. But I got diagnosed earlier. You got diagnosed with cancer, Lace? Is it inappropriate to ask what kind of cancer? And if you know how far along it is? I'm here with you. And I'd also like to share the hope that I have that it's the best time ever to get cancer. Today. Yesterday would have been worse. 20 years ago, catastrophe. 200 years ago, you wouldn't even have known. Right? So, there's hope, dear friend. You've got this. I'll keep showing up here. You keep showing up too. I hope the party goes amazing. That's nice, Kiefer. Goobs is here. Hello, hello. Gibbity, goobity, goobs. Nice having you. Sending you blessings, bro. Lays, goodness, that's tough. Here with you in healing and light. Thank you, Jean. She says thank you as well. Well, I mean, car batteries are only 12 volt and can shock you, and that can be thousands of amps. That's true, Darren. You're actually completely right. You're 100% right about that. Yeah. I was more thinking about all of the amps that exist in our like electric lines or inside mains. But you are completely right about the car battery. You can technically touch both poles of the battery, even though it can like make sparks on metal because of that amperage, literally, as you said, like burning. But yeah, you won't get shocked by it. I have an interesting question slash reflection. In meditation, we're trying to receive the state of being, we're trying to achieve, again, interesting question about meditation. We're trying to achieve the state of being the observer, right? Is religion something trying to explain that perceived observer? That is a good question. I won't necessarily agree or disagree that meditation is about achieving the state of being the observer, because I feel like that's like achieving the state of being yourself. I don't have to. I already am. You, in that way, already are the observer. I feel religion is when people have a moment of like what I would consider the recent terminology as like ego death, right? When you stop being the almost like interface layer with observation, right? Your interface layer is the part of you that verbalizes, says things about your life, right? That's the part of you that determines whether you are or are not enough. That's ego. And as soon as you strip that part of yourself, you are left with only everything. And you, how can everything, literally, you have everything is around you. Sure, it might be a distance away, but it's around you, everything in existence. That is more than enough, don't you think? Wouldn't you agree? And I think that is the part that's a little bit hard for us to grasp, is because we, as human beings, would like to have some sort of certainty. And it's even better if we can agree on some things. And then we have all of this everything around us, and then we try to conceptualize where it all comes from. And then religion is one of the ways that we conceptualize, label. Yeah. One of the ways in which we label. Humans like labels. Hey, Dan. Dan is here with us. Nice having you. It's cold and windy here. It's cold and windy here too. It's probably colder and windier where you are, but it's the same. I'm like not warm here, which can be good. My current crop of plants are doing amazing, Mel. Oh, thank you for telling me, guys. I really figured out how to dial in the indoor environment from what I learned from my first run. Already gaining wisdoms. Ah, I'm like imagining all of the things: size of tent, number of plants, quality and brightness of light. I want to geek out with you about this stuff every time you tell me, and I love that you're giving me these little sprinkles of information as you go, bro. I'm so happy to see that you're already seeing them happy as well. Sam says, yes, it is. The problem with religion, Western religions in particular, is that they are young in comparison with meditative practices. That is very apt wisdom that Sam is sharing. It's true. That's so true, Sam. If you had to compare all of the religions that people practice right now, right? All of them in some way or another, right? Prayer, in a way, is a kind of meditation, you know. And like again, go into every other religion, you'll find meditation in that as well. Atheists will meditate because it's good for you, right? And in that way, there's like a wisdom. It's the same thing for yoga for me. Yoga is a kind of meditation too, right? And yoga is also thousands of years old. And we do now have like whole religions technically that feed into yoga, right? The yoga poses have stories attached to them. Very cool ones. I like them at least. I don't believe the religion, but I still practice the practice, right? If a religion was like, God is good and he says, eat good food and take care of your loved ones, I'd be like, this God is lit. I'm gonna probably eat good food and take care of my loved ones, but I'm not going to, bother myself. That's the God part of it. I'm butchering the point I'm trying to make. Uh, if anything, I believe religion should be a way for you to study human psychology. That's my favorite interpretation of religion, is that you should see it as a deep dive into human psychology and why it is we think the way we do and why it is we form the certain attachments, hopes and dreams, idealizations. It's very, very involved. We can't escape pain. It's an inherent part of this existence. It lives in everything and everywhere. It will creep out no matter how hard we try to stop it. It's true, Kiefer. Pain does seem to be very prevalent in the human experience. And you can try and avoid it. You can try and hide, right? Not allow it in, but you'll experience another kind of pain if you do that. That's the joke about pain. Oh, I'm gonna not love anybody because they might hurt me, right? Gets hurt by not having anybody to love. Pain. Pain without love. Pain can't get enough. Pain. I like it rough. Cause I'd rather feel pain than nothing at all. To those who know, you know. I used to be a very grungy teenager. Oh goodness, I was like, why is this existence pain? For love to exist, right? The contrast, light and dark. Is pain the contrast in feeling to love? You can feel pain in love, right? You can feel pain by the missing of someone. Them dying, especially painful. And if you didn't love them, then you maybe wouldn't care as much. Human attachment. Maybe that will be our conversation tomorrow. The people in those religions are new on their path of understanding. So a lot of that material is pretty watered down and made easier to understand. It's true. Like it's information for the masses in that way, right? The illiterate people were given that information to kind of like at one point in existence, people just like stabbing others over grievances. Wasn't that out of the norm? All right. And you had to teach those kinds of people, like, actually, God doesn't like that. Yeah, God said, don't stab your neighbor or whatever. Stab your neighbor the way you would like to be stabbed or something. That's how it goes, right? The real key is just accepting this all part of it. Yeah. This is part of the spectrum of it. And for every person that wakes, someone sleeps. I really have been getting better at accepting it like that as well, Kiefer. Doesn't make it any easier necessarily. I guess I'll melt more. Glioblastoma. Hey Google, what is glioblastoma? Glioblastoma is the most common and aggressive type of malignant brain tumor in adults. Classified as grade 4 astrocytoma. It is a fast-growing cancer that develops from glial cells in the brain, rapidly invading nearby healthy tissue. That must be terrifying. Goodness. I'm so sorry you're going through that, friend. Again, we'll be here for you every single day, imagining you getting better. Slowly at first and then all at the same time. It's like when the Danish author wrote A Little Mermaid. Audience were farmers, so he used comparatives like apple red because that's what they understood. That's wild. The Little Mermaid was written for farmers. That's the part of the information I'm really bamboozled by. What? What? I'm just imagining a farmer taking a break, right? He just planted some potatoes or something, kicks his feet back, and then reads The Little Mermaid. Maybe. Who am I to say? I think because I grew up as a little kid, I saw Little Mermaid when I was like 4 or 5 or something, and it was a very kids and like a little bit like girly focused movie. What a fractal. Awesome, Gab. Did I miss some? Oh, no. The power of being independent. Did I miss something? I'm gonna make sure I have all my messages on. Do-do-dum-dum-dum. Okay, the crops. I did see that one. I like to contextualize it differently, says Dan to Kiefer. Pain is just a physical experience. It's just like the pang of sensation, but suffering. Did I just skip to the bottom of my comments? Hmm. There we go. But suffering is the spiritual manifestation of that. Hmm. Suffering. My definition for suffering hasn't changed, you know, Dan. That suffering is wanting for things to be differently. And there is a certain pain in that experience. I completely agree. Vapor pressure deficit. Ooh, cool words. Threshold are what I learned to precisely steer to keep plants in a state of growth. Vapor pressure deficit. I'm guessing in that case it means that you are evacuating a lot of moisture, creating an environment in which it is allowed, enticed, encouraged to uh, excrete more of its own water vapors or something like that. Give me more context. I don't even know that one. I'm learning new stuff from you, Dan. No, Gabs. I saw the next message, Kiefer saying, absolutely, Dan. I'm in the same wavelength with you. And that is true of car batteries. And car batteries are not intended to be used as weapons. True. They would make a blunt force instrument better than an electrocutor. They try to demonize AC power by killing elephants with it. Yep, it's true. That was also like a ploy to smear Nikola Tesla, at the same time. We should get rid of our entire electric grid, lol, for Topsy. We could just start using Google boxes like Ellen Rick showed us, Kiefer. I'm gonna pretend like I know what's going on. Yeah, Google boxes. I feel like religion is this weird attempt to categorize and organize spirituality, but that's impossible because spirituality is a deeply personal thing. That's a beautiful sentiment. And I see Joe also being like 100%. That's exactly the way I feel about it, is that it is an individual journey, right? Like it's our own mountain to climb. Each of us have our own mountain to climb, right? And you can read a little book and be like, yo, at this turn left, but you're climbing a different mountain, right? And you're like, wow. Pages through the book in desperation. You see some instructions that seem like they might have fit into where it is you were climbing, but you're still you're still climbing the mountain, right? By your ace, having your individual experience with it. I think that's the big part with religion as well, is that it makes some of that responsibility a little bit easier, right? It convinces you, that's part of the point, that this is the right one, this is the right religion, and you practicing this religion means that you're doing the right thing. So you get to rest your easy head in the knowing. Rest your easy head in the knowing that you're on the right path. Right. And again, it's nice to say it in so many words, to believe that. But the right path is actively revealing itself to you. It's not going to be found in a book. So much everything all around us all the time, huh? Forgive me, that is a very narrow way to say what meditation is about, because I would argue that it's so many different types of meditation, but I would argue that there are some people that are meditating to find this space where they're just the observer. I agree. You don't have to ask for forgiveness either, dear keeper. You know me. I'm very opinionated, and I'll be like, actually, this is what I think, actually. But it's never an attempt to make what you think any less valuable. And I know that I do that, and I do want to be better at that as well, right? So, me being all apologetic for making you feel like you needed to apologize, Kiefer. Your loved friend. You're sharing exactly what we need to hear. Religion is the framework for a person to find spirituality. But like how LLMs face increasingly downward legal pressure and simply cannot provide the product large scale, religion is corrupt because humans are involved and we as a group suck. Uh, I think again, it's like power differentials, right? Religion, in the way that it is practiced, creates power differentials. There are the believers, and then there are the ones benefiting from that belief, right? The church organizers. And again, the community can also benefit from that belief in certain cases where you being in the church benefits you the favor of other people in the church with you, right? Which some people value, right? But again, it's like it's a framework. I think you said that, right? It's a framework. Yeah, it is a framework for people to believe they're good and do as good people do, right? And again, it takes a lot of your focus away from what's actually important. I'll just say that much. Maybe we're not the ones that want to be independent. Together we are great. If we don't follow just my thoughts, yeah, I feel you. I think I said the same thing a little bit with the whole, having a community fractal come through, maybe plans. A lot of religions, as Dan, are like regular people who encounter someone who is spiritually enlightened and they like to try and write it all down. But like you encountering God in form, dude, good luck. Yeah, absolutely. I was actually talking to my friend about this one day when he was talking about prayer and how he felt about, he wasn't necessarily certain about his faith and all of that. And then I leaned in and I said that this is a form of meditation, and honoring yourself for what you're going through and thinking about and giving yourself the space to think about it. Even if that is through prayer, reaching out to God, it is expressing your form of grief and desire, the whole 9 yards. It's true. It's a beautiful point. You're getting to be a teacher in that moment, Kiefer, guiding your friend as well to realizing that he is on the journey. He's probably talking about it's awesome that I'm growing my own, cause it is awesome. It is a dream come true, and I'm relieved to be good at it. Oh, gobs, that's wholesome, bro. It's true. It is very high stakes, right? And there is a little bit of judgment involved as well, right? If you're bringing out weed that you grew, and you have homies that like weed as well, and your weed is trash, if you have good homies, they'll tell you. They'll make fun of you even about it, and that would be embarrassing. So getting to be praised for the good stuff is good stuff. I look forward to singing your praises as well, Gabadoo. Shit, Dan, when did you get in here? A little bit ago. He hides among the D's of Darren. Maintaining ambient temperature as it relates to relative humidity to steer VPD in certain threshold levels which are scientifically shown to promote the most robust and healthy growth. Nice. Gabbity-goo. Technomancer, plantamantier. All right, Mr. Gardner, Technomander. Gab was definitely saying it was awesome. I had myself believe I couldn't do it either. You have to at some point, right? It's so rewarding. I'm so sorry, my dear friend, to hear of your cancer diagnosis. I, two of my grandpa, two of my grandparents actually had this. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that as well. Hi, Angelina. It's nice having you here, friend. No, I will not be making you mod today. Right, you'll have to show up for at least like 3-ish years. At least 3-ish years. And at the same time, Linda, you have to not be asking me to become mod in those 3 years for me to even start to consider it. Right? It's like the whole problem we have with politicians, you see, Angelina, where the kind of people that want that kind of power sometimes end up being the kind of people that will take advantage of what that power brings them, right? The motivations for them to want that power ends up being the exact thing that makes them unworthy of it, right? And that's where asking to be mod comes in, right? It's like, why do you want that power? What are your motivations for wanting that power, right? It takes a certain consensus to earn that power. And I feel like that's also in part why our planet is as rough as it is right now. Darren, when we establish our sustainable Earthship community in a beautiful place on lots of land to live together, we will grow all sorts of things together and share our knowledge with each other. That's so wholesome, Gab. I'm thinking about Jaju right now. I don't know how big a piece of land Jaju is moving in on, but he did mention that there's a bunch of space. All right, so suddenly the Earthship idea popped into my mind. I would like for us to do it here in South Africa as well. Technically, we have space here too, but it is in Africa. All right, it's a far way to come. So we'll do some Earthships in America, of course, and then Earthships here too. Get out of my head. That is not allowed. We're all one, Darren. Welcome. One of us. One of us. One. I'm so looking forward to all of that. Good weed, Gab. Yeah, Gab will be our resident weed grower. We'll be help. We'll help him trim and harvest. Can we all see your aliens again? My doggos. They are probably hiding somewhere under blankets. It's cold today. Just arrived after a run. A run. You're so healthy now, bro. He was actually taking good care of himself even back then. I'll hype that man. He has been taking good care of himself. I'm happy to know that you still are, bro. I'm so happy you're better now, Dan. So Melt, you're taking calls or song requests? No. Not technically. That's not what's happening right now. But I have accepted calls on stream, and I think I've had 3 songs that I've played when someone asked me. I mean, how much can we pack into this live stream? Exactly as much as it needs. Always, Hoopy. The right amount of MeltMore. That's just slavery with extra steps. That's hilarious. Bless. I mean, how much can we pack? Less again. Sometimes I worked at a restaurant, and when Muslim customers come to eat, ugh, I'm gonna stop reading that comment. When Muslim customers come to eat, I cook them the most delicious meals because I respect everybody. That's what he said. Yep, those are the words. But that's Florida, no offense, judge you. But I ain't gonna settle down there. I don't think he's in Florida anymore. I think the place he's moving to is Illinois. Is it Illinois? It's the state next to Joe's, I think. I don't know if Jovan is here right now. She would probably know better than me. I'm calling. Yeah, Illinois, I was right. I think he's in Illinois. It's closer to Texas than Florida. Is it? No. Looks like it's about the same distance. further away from the ocean at least, so we wouldn't have to worry about getting sea leveled. Why? Why are you like this? So patiently happy. If you propose is to if your propose is to troll the hippies, there shall be zero satisfaction for you here. That's true, Melt, but I appreciate it anyway. Bless. Love is true. Goddamn right, Sam. Look at us, two Canadians just saying sorry to each other. Lol, jokes and terrible stereotypes. Also love the Canadians. Been a minute. Can't wait to see you guys again. Canadians, Canadians, love is true. Running is a great stress reliever, though. Sometimes I get really angry when I run, to be honest, and I just push that energy into the run. Yeah, it really is cathartic in that way. I also have moments like that where, like when I was like working out, especially, there would be a certain almost like harnessing the rage I have into the exercises I was doing. Maybe that's actually a good stereotype. Regardless, where is the line? Yeah, I think the worst thing I can say right now is stereotypes exist for a reason. But I think, like echoing a good stereotype would be better than a bad one. All right. If someone profusely apologizes to you and they are in fact from Canada, you could joke, you can poke fun at them a little bit and be like, yep, you're Canadians and you're sorry saying. So nice. All right. Whereas you echoing a stereotype that is a negative one, right? You're trying to, at least in my mind, encourage people in the right direction, labeling them with something that's not a positive trait. I think being apologetic when in some ways can be a good trait, right? I can be pretty apologetic if I interrupt people or something like that because I know everybody's time is valuable and I'm sorry for maybe wasting it. My older brother is like that, Dan, and I avoided the dog poop on my run. That's good, Dream Tooth. I didn't manage to avoid reading it, unfortunately. That's exactly what he does. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a half marathon. I can run 4 miles without an issue. So I think I could do it. I mean, absolutely, bro. Right? No sweat. Is MeltMore a runner? No. I am a walker. I'll like speed walk places, but I don't really run. Hallo ma, welkom terug. I don't really enjoy being out of breath. Yeah, maybe if I ran more, I wouldn't be, but who knows? In Secrets of Monkey Island, give the troll a fish and cross the bridge. Anyone have a fish to throw? Yeah, I have just not been reading the messages. My comment, or maybe not coming. It's okay to share that I was just running. Why would you try and avoid my comments? What's going on? Right? Like, I'm sure that there was a lot that happened in your run. I can just imagine how much you could have seen, how much beauty there might have been, how much smiling faces and passing. And then the one thing you tell me about your run is the dog poop that you avoided. And then I was making a joke about avoiding reading about dog poop because you can't say those words without having that image a little bit in your brain, right? And in that way, all of us stepped into dog poop collectively. Know what I mean? I'm gonna show you a flower now, right? It's gonna be something else. Some contrast. Hope you like red. I do enjoy the shapies I made in this one. Alrighty. There it be. I'm proud of you, Dan. I've been using Pokemon to keep me distracted from the fact that I'm running. I ran 3 miles yesterday. That's wild, Joe. Yeah, Joe hatching them eggs. 3 freaking miles. I'm still baffled by it. My hard eyes, no, melting my mind. Damn, you're catching Pokemon while you're running. That's impressive. You can stand still. I think you can stand still to catch them, but then you have to run again. Find the next spot. Scam it now. I remember when I thought I needed to be perceived as relevant. Ebb and flows from me. Hoopty hoops. It's like a give and take, catch and release kind of situation for me. You know what I mean. I think you know. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. This bitch don't stand still even when she's not around. That's true. Just walking in circles. Walk in circles while catching Pokemons. Like, you can't get away from me, Pokemons. This ball might not capture you, but I'm walking you in circles. Ain't gonna escape from me. Wat breng je van mij? That's not what it's supposed to look like. Why is it doing that?
Because I put it as a ganache over chocolate pudding.
Oh.
The thing about running a marathon, the distance you can run within 1 week is the maximum you can run in 1 day.
Huh.
So if you want to run 40 miles, you have to run at least 40 miles in 1 week.
Interesting. So Jo did 4 miles. She could do a 28-mile hike, technically.
Run.
Run. Hike is a hike harder than a run. Technically, it would be, right?
Yeah, hike is
Up and down. Yeah, through the rocks and
where running is
on a surface, on a road already made and set for you. Shantae was showing me her ganache. It looked like glue, but made of chocolate. I saw the guy who had a treadmill and booted up Skyrim in his Oculus so he could take a walk through his favorite places. Still want to do it. Does look good. Like
This is what I made it for.
I am really sold on getting myself a Valve frame. I might actually sell my computer in order to get myself one. Of course. I'm fasting. This looks really dark on camera. Very chocolate.
Well, it's a 1-to-1 ratio of cacao to sugar, and then so it's 1-to-1 to 2. So 1 cacao, 1 sugar, 1 milk, 2 milk.
Why are you like this, Shantae? Can't you see I'm gaining weight?
Because I'm writing exams.
So I can make chocolate cake instead of studying for my exams.
Basically.
I'm
And I'm going on
making
vacation
chocolate cake.
next week, so I already made pudding for our vacation.
Haha! Now I get to be me in this situation and eat all of the chocolate cake. Just to spite you. Oh yeah? Oh yeah, you make chocolate cake while I'm fasting? I'll eat all of the chocolate cake.
There's 3 bowls.
I'm joking. I'm gonna try. I wanted to do an extended fast this time, but then there's like chocolate cake and stuff in the house.
And then there's his sister.
Yeah.
Who keeps on making sweet treats.
Like technically Shantae was never responsible for me being obese, but can you imagine if you were cooking this
Imagine
way?
I was 16 and I was 8.
I would have literally weighed 200 kilograms at 12 or something like that.
If our age difference were different, the other way around, he would have been a whale instead of what he was.
Spicy is best for metabolism. Don't try at home. It's true. Shantae actually makes some ginger beer that she puts capsaicin or like chilies in as well, and it's nice. I like drinking spicy stuff. Is that your sister? Yeah, Brittany. This is my sister.
It is his favorite sister.
My favorite sister. Yeah. All of the other ones are dead to me.
Yeah.
Non-existent, technically. Namaskaram all. Love to you, hoopty hoops. Namaskaram to you too. Ooh, delicious. Don't you talk like that about my sister, Dan. I know he was talking about the chocolate. I love a good Moscow Mule with ginger beer. I've never had a Moscow Mule, but I know it's some type of drink. Isn't it technically bad for you because they come out of... Do you drink Moscow Mules out of the... Is it copper cup or something? Yes, we love her. Love is true. Tell her she looks a lot like you guys, but I have a lot of remembrance of each other. Yeah, it's almost like
we have the same set of parents.
we're siblings. Love is true. Please poke me about the word, y'all. Poke you about the word. There's mom too. Look at us. Mother is type. I don't know. Everybody on frame. Tell her she looks like you. She's read that one. Is it a bird? Is a bird the word? Everybody's heard. That bird is the word. Can you use the copper cup, but it's optional? Okay, makes sense. Look, y'all. Adorable. Love is true. Cringes in life, laugh. Cringes in love, laugh, and laugh. Then I'll give you the speech on how it becomes the place of love for y'all, as in, because y'all is y'all. Oh, I am so confused. Maybe that's what you're doing on purpose. It's like, oh, quick, Melt has angelic mama Melt. Love is true. There the comments come as well. There is a little bit of a delay probably happening too.
This is one of our kitchen mottos. Oh, it's going to be the wrong side around. It says, never trust a skinny cook.
Whitney, maar kok vertrouwen nie. You got good genes on your family, and that's a great thing. Thank you, Whitney. That's true. We do got some good genes. God given these abled bodies. God given the intelligence in order to discern for ourselves what it is we want to do. Got good calves. Got legs on us. Got thickum legs. Yeah, and we're flexible too. It's true. My grandma was a gymnast.
Oh, Ma.
Yeah. Not a gymnast.
She was the best shot in
Best shot. Yeah, of course, that one. But I'm pretty sure she did do like gymnastic stuff as well.
Maybe as like a child.
Yeah, when she was like a kid. Yeah.
I did ballet.
Your mom is beautiful. Love is true. Thank you. Squints and Hatfield. Yeah, I'm gonna need a repackage too. I'm so confused. Can you smell what I'm stepping in? I think they're messing with me. I think that's what's happening.
We actually do not have Thanksgiving in South Africa. It is not part of our traditions.
That's so badass. You had a grandma sharpshooter. I still have her. She's still alive.
And she's also very flexible.
Yep, she's also a frexy person. She can still touch the ground.
As an 83-year-old. 84-year-old, actually.
As an 84-year-old lady.
She can still put her hands like flat on the ground without bending her knees.
Yeah. And then I became a yogi. What the... Actually, yesterday's flower didn't get posted. Sacrilege. It's not absolute sacrilege. Is it in my drafts? No, that's Saturday. There it is. Unposted. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. She can see Shantai, right? It was living right there. Now it's not loading. Oh yeah. Patreon was just like not working last night. But there it is. It was supposed to be published. I'm hitting the publish button again. My grandma was sweet, but she was a prism. And she was a prism. It's cooler. It would be cooler if your grandma was a prism. A prim and proper 1940s lady who probably forbade herself from going anywhere near a gun. Yeah, here in South Africa, gun shooting is cool, right? We like guns in Africa. What, really? No Thanksgiving? Nope. We'll have Christmas dinners, but no Thanksgiving.
Yeah, see where you guys like get together, all your entire family with Thanksgiving. That is how our Christmases are. So with Christmas, it's your parents and siblings, and then all your cousins, and then it's like full house. You pick one household's house, and then all the family goes to that house.
And then you help cook food, and then everybody eats collectively. Great grandparents ran a speakeasy and brewed beer during Prohibition. That's hilarious. They were like basically gangsters. They were brewing alcohol when it was illegal to sell the stuff. That's awesome. I love that. And according to family legend, also sheltered Pretty Boy Floyd and his gang after their activities on trains. I was like literally saying that your parents were like gangsters, your grandparents were like gangsters, and then the next thing you tell me is that they were literally like gangsters. All right, one more time. Rook, victory, rook and C, quick, rooking, and then I'll read. The poem was called Maintenance. Badass. Maintenance. We're so good at tending the things that hum and rattle outside of us. We change the filters, fix the drips, polish the metal until it gleams as if it's proud to be seen. But the strangest thing happens when the machine is us. We forget we require the same care as the objects we fuss over. We skip our own tune-ups, then wonder why life feels rough around the edges. The truth is simple and it glows when you admit it. You are a system of miracles that needs maintenance. Daily lubrication in the form of movement, cooling cycles made of silence, fuel that isn't just caffeine and whatever you found in the fridge. A calibration of the heart so the compass still points towards what matters. And none of this is indulgence. It's survival. It's wisdom. It's the physics of staying human in a world that pulls at your bolts and loosen your screws when you're not looking. Because you are the real vehicle. You are the home you live in. And when you care for yourself with the same devotion you give to everything else, you don't just keep running. You'll start to fly. You'll start to fly, bro. You're gonna take a fly? You gonna fly? Yeah. Yeah. Longitude 60 degrees, latitude 183 degrees. Food hell. For some reason, I expect to have a bomb fall on me or something with you talking in coordinates. And the other parents and the other grandparents were, checks notes, running a multi-million-dollar cattle ranch, raising 5 kids they later sent to and welcomed back from World War II. I kind of feel like as compared to them, like they might actually be ashamed of me. Yeah, Christian also has that problem. He worries himself out about that too, a lot. I'd like to believe that I'm doing things that none of my ancestors could have even imagined. Right? My life is so far off the beaten path that they wouldn't even be able to conceptualize what it is I'm saying if I told them. They'd be like, "You're doing what now? You're what? What? You're what?" I'd be like, "Yeah, bet your ass, ancestors, lose your minds. Get out of your head." I feel love is true. Love is true. We read the poem. We reminded ourselves that it is going to require some maintenance. This human body requires maintenance. Feed it, sleep appropriately, show up the next day continually. This is Prime Directive. Appreciate things. Think there's more rain coming? I hope so, at least. I like rain. Who you are is enough, yes. Oh, good thing to remind ourselves of that with that sentiment. Who you are is enough. Unless who you are is someone who puts pineapple on pizza. I absolutely do that. I love it. I love pineapple on pizza. It's like, great. That's what I would order for myself as a kid when I was given the option to. Someone who needs some inner reflection. That's why I do one of these live streams every day. I have to inner reflect a lot. That's the price you pay for liking pineapple pizza, but it's worth it. It's so worth it. I had some great laughs today. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Dan. It's not late, Sam. You just gotta get a cattle ranch. Yeah, come on. Come on, Sam. Get a multi-million-dollar cattle ranch. Just do it. Do it. Come on. Do it. A cattle ranch in this economy. Where am I supposed to get them? The unemployment line? Yeah. You just ask. I would like one cattle ranch, please. One multi-million-dollar cattle ranch, please. And then they go like, right this way, sir. And then they're like, here. And they give you keys. And they point to a map. And then you drive to the map. And then you use your keys to unlock your cattle ranch. You have to unlock the cows, of course, so they can cattle ranch. In this economy. In this economy, even the cattle don't want to be ranched. You do have to feed them a lot of food, right? So even if you were gifted, literally, think about that. Even if you were literally given the keys to a multi-million-dollar cattle ranch right now, probably all of your cows will die. Or you'll have to sell half of them to keep the other half alive. How about that for economies of scale? If anyone says anything, you will just be like, nah, this is ours, always has been. Yeah, actually, this is my cattle ranch, actually. It's like, where's old Mr. Jones? Mr. Jones is definitely not in the basement tied up right now. Of course not. This is our cattle ranch. And I also don't know who Mr. Jones is, actually, now that I think about it. In this economy, even the cattle are going to need to be Instacart to make ends meet. That would be cool, you know? I like it. We put like little neural interface helmets on them, and then the cattle spend their whole life working as Instacart, and then when they are too old to Instacart, then we eat them. If you would pitch that idea to a tech bro and you can actually make it work, they would lose their minds over that. It's like, what? They eat on the way. They eat like the grass and stuff on the sidewalk and stuff. Get super fat and muscular. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna say goodbye. I need to put this conversation down. I love you. I'll see you again soon, dear friends, tomorrow. All right? Goodbye. Until we do it again. Instamoo, a MeltMore effort. I'm imagining like the ultimate Instamoo package is the cow comes to you and then just like instantly collapses into prepackaged meats, right? It's like, in 5 seconds, your Instamoo will turn into prepackaged meats. And then it just like despawns into a bunch of different packets of ground beef and steaks and chuck and I'm sorry. And stop, please. Imagination, please release me. I love you friends. Show is laughing with us. Moon's the guard. I love you, friends. I'll see you again tomorrow, okay? Goodbye. Love you, friends. Ta-ta.